Hey, how's it going? My name is Manny, and I am really glad that you're here today. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you over the next few minutes because this is good. This is good. In a world full of people making hyped up promises about how to help you get more clients and grow your coaching business or whatever it is you have, this is something that is really working and it's working like gangbusters. So, I'm going to talk to you about the hybrid system that I've created that is getting me clients pretty much daily, sometimes more than one per day. Sometimes, we'll skip a day, but in general, we're looking at about 30 new clients a month, sometimes more. And I want to be able to share this with you. So pay attention here because here's what's going to happen by the end of this video, you're going to have a sense of how a hybrid client attraction system works. And when I say hybrid, I mean part of it is organic and part of it drives clients through paid ads. And so this is great because you hear people saying, well, organic doesn't work. And, oh, well, paid ads don't work. And I'm here to tell you they both work. They both work and they work well. But when you blend them together, then really cool things start happening. So let's strap in. Let's pay attention. I've got some great stuff for you here. Okay, cool. So how did I become this guy who is now teaching and using a hybrid system? Well, I think it's probably pretty similar to a lot of people. I came into the internet marketing space wanting to be a coach, wanting to help people with the gifts that I believe I have and my vision and my desire to serve. And, I see so many other coaches who come in with the same reason, the same motivation, right? In fact, if you're watching this, it's probably you. You probably have a desire to take what you're good at, take the challenges that you've overcome, and figure out how to help other people with them. Well, when I did that, I immediately, upon coming into the space, I realized that doesn't matter at all because clients do not come to you just because of your skill. They don't come to you just because you really want to serve. They don't come to you for any other reason than one, and that's effective marketing. It took me a long time to wrap my head around this, and I went through, gosh, it seems like every kind of I sat through every webinar. I went to every training. I bought lots and lots and lots of different coaching packages. And I saw a couple of things. One was high promises, low results. And that really started to upset me, not only for myself, but for when I started thinking about how many people there must be that are having the experience similar to the one I'm having. And at some point, I kind of dug my heels in and said, all right, I'm going to figure this stuff out for me. Now, here's what's funny about that. When I first started, I didn't intend to be a guy who helps people get clients. It was never my intent. I wanted to be a men's coach. I wanted to share the stuff I had overcome and help other men to lead better, more fulfilling lives with less challenge and all that stuff. And only through going through this process of sort of cracking the code or whatever on, first it was organic marketing, and then really looking at how to sort of marry that with paid ad marketing. Only through that process did I become the guy that does this work. It was so my journey wasn't one of starting off 7 years ago saying, I'm going to teach people how to get leads. That was never my intent. It only happened because I have a tendency and an inclination to share and teach what I learn. And I started learning how to get clients. And so I would put the message out there to people and people started asking for my help. That's how I got here. It's so funny when I think back on it because, again, never intended to do this. And, the challenges that I faced along the way have really gone into my program and my system. I want to help you not have those same challenges. I want to help you to avoid overwhelm. I want to give you, ideally, one methodology that you can count on, that you can rely on, instead of having to feel like you've got to pull from over here and pull from over here and kind of plug and play all these different ideas together, which can get totally overwhelming. I mean, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It gets completely exhausting trying to manage, oh, well, should I do what this coach said? And how does it fit in with what this coach said? But this guy said this and this girl said that. Here's the thing. There are a lot of ways to do the simple, seemingly simple act of getting new clients. What I'm going to talk to you about today is one. And I hope you understand that if at the end of this, when I invite you to set a call, by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to invite you to set a call if you like what I'm saying and you'd like to find out about working together. So I like to be very upfront about everything. If you want to find out about working together after watching this, I'm going to invite you to a call. So it's going to be real easy. There'll never be any pressure, but if it's a good fit, we'll both know it and off we'll go. But what I want you to have, again, is just one system you can count on. I want to like cool the noise for you. I want to turn down the background noise that you deal with as an entrepreneur that is present all day, every day, as you're trying to figure out how to build your business and serve your clients and get new clients and figure out your marketing. Because I know that it's not time in the day that gets us, it's bandwidth. And so I want to give you back bandwidth. That's one of the ideas here. So that's a little bit about how I got here. And what I want to talk to you about is I'm going to give you a little bit about my approach to organic marketing, because it tends to be different from a lot of what people are calling organic marketing. Specifically, I'm never going to ask you to do cold outreach. I'm never going to ask you to be spammy. I'm never going to ask you to bulk send messages to people uninvited, things like that. Nothing like that. I'm not going to have you going into groups and adding value transparently where it's clearly meant to be a lead gen tool. It turns out you don't need any of those things. All you need for any kind of marketing, really, but for organic marketing, is what I call AAIDA. And that's audience, attention, interest, desire, and action. Now, there are a million ways to get those things, but I'm going to show you one that, for me at least, is highly congruent with my ethics and my values. And I hope that it's the same for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how, for me, building a Facebook group was just like put afterburners on my whole system. So I was doing well. I was doing well with my organic strategies. And then I approached building a Facebook group in a sort of a unique way, in the sense that it's opposite of what most people teach. So I'm going to cover all those things with you. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the results that are happening as a result of myself and some of my clients plugging these things in together. Cool? Cool. So let's talk a little bit about my approach to organic marketing. Now, most people, as I alluded to earlier, it's very common now for organic marketing to be sort of what it means is cold outreach marketing, right? That's kind of what a lot of people are teaching these days. And again, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do it that way, because I know a lot of us, especially those of us that would be considered heart-centered, meaning that we're here because we really want to help people, we don't feel good about cold outreach. We don't feel good about that sort of like intrusive kind of marketing, right? Have you ever opened your phone or opened your laptop or whatever, you go onto social media and there are people in your messenger uninvited who just lead with a pitch? We're never going to do that, and we don't have to. And so my version of organic marketing could also be called trust marketing, or you could call it like attraction marketing. And my philosophy is this: when it comes to your organic efforts, you should focus on getting your message, your content in front of the largest number of people possible. So that's one of the big mistakes people make in social media. Particularly, let's use Facebook, because I'm primarily on Facebook. We think that if we get to the 5,000 friend limit, that's going to be enough. That is not enough. Because of the way that content is shown and because of algorithms and things like that, the truth is, if you have 5,000 friends and you write a piece of content that is just hot to the touch, right? It's just so good. You'd be lucky if Facebook shows 250 of your friends that piece of content. And so that's 5% reach. Typical reach is between 1% and 3%. So you've got to have a strategy first for, if you're only getting a reach of 1% to 3%, how do you get a much bigger audience? Much bigger than 5,000. And I've got some methods that can help you get into the hundreds of thousands of eyes on your content within a month. So powerful, powerful stuff. And what happens? The rule is, the more people who see you, the more people who feel like they get to know you, the more who get to know you feel like they like you, and the more who get to like you, the more who trust you. Make sense? And when you get people to the level of trust, it's just a matter of having an offer that shows up at the right time for them when they need it. Pretty simple when you think of it that way. So one of the big pillars is you've got to know how to get a massive, huge audience. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It's pretty easy stuff. And so what you need is a massive, huge audience. And why you need it is because, think of, you hear the word funnel all the time, right? But think of like an actual kitchen funnel where you pour the water in and it funnels down to a little spout. The bigger the opening, that's your audience, the more can go through the spout. That's kind of the idea. So if 1 million people know who you are, probably 100,000 will feel like they like you. Probably 10,000 will feel like they trust you. And of those 10,000, probably 1,000 would be ready to buy at any time. So that's kind of how it works, right? You got to have a big audience. Now, the next thing that you have to really understand how to do is create dynamic content. If your content is not dynamic, it won't matter how big your audience is. If your content is not dynamic, it won't matter how big your audience is. Really put that in your head there. And so I use a proprietary set of systems, set of formulas, set of tools, I guess, to help you create, get this, 90 days worth of dynamic content in as little as 10 minutes. It's very, very fast and it's very, very powerful. But you got to have a system for content. Otherwise, we can get the feeling like we're constantly just chained to our social media. You know, if you don't have a game plan ahead of time for how to create content, where to put it, how to use it, then you just feel like you have to be on all the time. And one of the big things I really want to take off your plate, as I said before, is that sense of like your bandwidth is at its maximum. I want you to feel the noise and the pressure dropped in your business. So instead of kind of willy-nilly content all the time, I'm going to show you how to use less content and make it more impactful. And this has been a game-changing shift for me. So if you spend less time making content and more time making the content really, really good, guess what happens? You're seen more and more quickly as a pro. It positions you better. Hope that makes sense. So this is what you're going to need. These are kind of the organic pieces. Primarily speaking, the organic pieces are, you want lots and lots of eyes. And I'll just tell you, I use a Facebook page for hundreds of thousands of eyes on the content. And then you have to have a content strategy. that not only shows you how to make content, but how to make great content and how to be smart and strategic with it. You need that as well. So again, a huge audience, powerful, meaningful content, and then a strategy for your profile that has a rhythm to it. And this is another important thing. Your profile content needs to have a rhythm. You don't want to always be selling, and you don't want to never be selling. And it's interesting. I find that most people vacillate to one of the two extremes. Either they're afraid to sell, which is a huge problem, because if you're afraid to sell, you're not going to get clients. Or they have no balance and they're just constantly selling. And those people, we tend to tune out. So you can't do one or the other, right? If you're always selling, then what happens is every time somebody sees your name in their social media feed, they tune you out because they know you're going to do one thing and one thing only: sell to them. If you never sell, but you grow your audience and you use dynamic content, here's what will happen. You will get some people reaching out to you to work with you. It's a little inconsistent, but I mean, it's typical. You could get 5 new clients a month that way. And if your package is $2,500, let's say, 5 new clients a month ain't bad. I mean, that's a 6-figure business. Here's the problem though. If you're afraid to sell, then every time somebody reaches out to you to work with you, you're going to struggle through that enrollment process, right? You're going to struggle through what to say. You're going to struggle through what's the energy I bring to this? How do I nurture them from this outreach into signing up? Got a beautiful system for that, so that you don't ever have to feel out of alignment or awkward or any of those things. And so that is the organic side of my hybrid approach. And then to really just put afterburners on everything, just to send your results to the moon. And remember, we're currently looking at about 1 new client a day using these two systems together, is a Facebook group. But a Facebook group set up not the way most people set them up. A Facebook group set up specifically as a trust building and nurturing tool for your business. And the typical approach to Facebook groups, I think you'll agree, is the leader of the group just puts tons and tons of content in there, and they're there all the time. And if you've ever tried to do this, you know that it can be exhausting. And you know that, again, you can feel chained to your business and chained to your social media. Well, I'm going to show how you can, again, do less and get more. You want to do less content, but make each piece more meaningful. So you need strategies for your Facebook group, and you need strategies that will create consistency. Wouldn't you agree? You got to have strategies. Otherwise, you feel like you can't ever take a break, and you need strategies that create consistency. And what I want to share with you, what was so exciting for me to learn, is that you can have a systemized approach to a business that is driven by social media. It's been a long process for me to get here. And I got to tell you, the difference is night and day between the early days when I just felt like I had to constantly be on, constantly be like creating good content, to have systematized it and see that the results are even better. Whew, it's so nice. It's so nice. And so some of the things that we do in the Facebook group are, we don't let just anyone in. We're selective. And in fact, we run ads to fill the group, whereas most people have really time and labor intensive organic group growth strategies. We just use ads. We just fill it with ads. And what happens is we get a better caliber of people in the group because they opted in of their own volition, their own choice. And if you're trying to fill a group organically, what happens? Well, you mostly wind up asking your friends, or people come in because, they think you're cool or whatever, but it's never like they come in specifically to learn what you teach. Only when you get into the thousands and thousands of people, typically, do you see that some small percentage of these people are very interested in what you teach. Well, we flip that all on its head just by running very strategic, deliberate ads and filling the group with people who want to be there because of what the group's about. This has been, again, totally game changing. And then once they're in the group, we have a whole set of what I call invisible strategies that nurture people along, that create trust in you as the authority, the expert, and that get people to enroll with you. And the beauty of it is, again, it's all invisible. It all happens behind the scenes. And so that's another reason why we're getting a new client pretty much every day, is because the group doesn't look like it's always being sold to, right? Inside of my group, you don't see a lot of selling, maybe every couple of months or something like that. And all of it happens in a very sort of low key, low pressure way behind the scenes. Let's recap a little bit. I talked about how to grow your audience and why you need a huge audience, right? Because again, remember, the limitations of your profile are that even your best piece of content will maybe be shown to 200 people. And so when you can get it in front of 200,000, that ups the percentages of every other thing that'll happen. So basically 200,000 people seeing it means more clients. Basically, that's it. We talked a little bit about having a rhythm within your social media profile content. You don't want to be always selling, and you don't want to be never selling. You want to have a rhythm. You want to change it up, right? Give people value, make them offers. Give them value, make them offers. And then the big one, I'm talking the holy grail here, is connecting a Facebook group to all of this that has a very specific strategy behind it. And might I say, a much easier strategy to manage. Now, I've never been in a situation prior to combining these two strategies where I was getting a new client every day. But here's the cool part. I don't feel chained to the work anymore. I don't feel chained to my business. I don't feel like, man, if I take the day off, everyone will forget who I am. You know what I mean? So it's less is more in a very real way. And it brings in more clients. It brings in clients that are more self-qualified, more ready to do the work, better clients, I guess you could say. And so, again, I guess what I want to say to you is this is the best system I've ever found. This is the best system I've ever found. And in fact, I've got one client, her name is Jackie, who just using the organic framework I talked to you about in the beginning here, just with that, she took her online education platform for tutoring and educational support, and she took it from 5 new students a month to 50 new students a month. In fact, she got so busy just by showing up consistently with the ideas in my organic side that we had to go in and figure out for her how to set up group coaching and set up tutors underneath her to execute the work, because she couldn't do it all anymore and still be the face of the brand. Pretty exciting stuff. And then I'll never forget, another client of mine, Sarah, sending me a message literally saying, I don't know what to do with all these people raising their hand and saying yes. She was getting so many leads coming in. She sent me a panicked Facebook message saying, oh my God, what do I do? All these people are saying yes. I said, well, I suggest you treat them all as leads and proceed accordingly and count your blessings, because let's face it, that's awesome. So just the organic side alone can, if you have a game plan, and especially if you're not ever doing that cold, spammy, pitchy stuff, it can change your whole business and really change your life. And then if you plug a Facebook group with a particular strategy into the organic, like on the other side of it, it's so powerful. And remember in the starting, I said I wanted to give you like one game plan. I'm not saying there aren't other ways that might work or might not. But what I'm saying is, wouldn't it be nice to just know you had one plan and one system? And as long as you trusted the system and executed, that you'd be getting new clients. Wouldn't it be nice to know that you could pull away from the business for a while, and it would still go on? And wouldn't it be nice to know that you had people who were happy to pay the price for your program, whatever that is? Is it 2,000? Is it 3,000? Is it 5,000? Here's what's happened as a result of combining the organic side with the Facebook group side is nobody questions the price of my training anymore. Think about how that would be for you. Think about how nice that would be. So here's exactly what I want you to do next, okay? If you like what you've heard and you want a no pressure 15-minute call where we just evaluate whether or not what you have is a good fit for this and what we have is a good fit for you. It's strictly evaluative, meaning there's no selling involved whatsoever. If you'd like to talk to someone on the team about whether or not it's even a good fit for you, I invite you to follow the button below, the link below, and schedule a 15-minute call with a member of the team. So again, if you have been just feeling like you're killing yourself just to get a few clients, and you feel like a strategy would bring some peace of mind, then I highly advise you to schedule this call. Again, this is not a selling call. There's no sales involved. It's very low key. It's just to establish. It's to establish whether we can help you and whether you're a fit for us, whether we want to work with you and whether we can help you. If you are getting a few clients each month now and you'd like to double it or triple it, but again, with a system, right? Without having to just be on 24/7 and sort of running around doing a million things in your business. If you'd like to take and simplify what you do day to day and have it pay more dividends, bring you more people, then I invite you to, again, schedule the call. Schedule the call. Again, it's no pressure. And we'll just see if we're a fit. That's it. Here's how it goes, in fact. It's about 15 minutes long. We just establish some baseline compatibility between you and us. And if it looks good on both sides, then we'll invite you to a longer call where we'll lay out for you and paint a picture of what the plan would look like to improve your business, to make it easier, to make it more profitable, to make it more fun and enjoyable, and to help you start to get clients pretty much daily. We'll invite you to that call, but there'll be no pressure again on the 15-minute call. So if you like what you've heard and you'd like to simplify while also growing, think about that. If you'd like to simplify your business while also growing it and to never have to be doing things that don't feel good to you, I invite you to join us for the 15-minute call. Schedule the 15-minute call and let's just see if it's a good fit. And if it's a good fit, I'm totally transparent here. We'll invite you to the longer call. We'll lay out a plan for you, and then we'll invite you to work with us. That's it. That's how it all works. There's no catches. There's no hidden surprises or anything like that. It's just, if it's a good fit, we'll invite you to come and work with us. And if you do say yes, and we do invite you, again, this could be the thing that changes your business. This could be the thing that changes your life. When you go from making a few $1,000s a month and you can't rely month to month on what's happening with your income to making 10, 20, 30,000 a month or more consistently and reliably, it is so much different. It is truly life-changing. I want that for all coaches, but I know that I'm not a fit for every coach. And so we have to find out. So if you'd like to find out, just follow the button below, schedule your 15-minute call, and let's just see if it's a good fit between you and between us. Thank you so much. So glad you got to this call and so glad you stuck around to the end. Schedule your 15-minute call with someone from the team and let's see. Let's see if we can help you to really, really change the game for you. All right. Thanks very much.